Hello everyone and welcome to this video on my new channel here on Dale and FPV, and today we want to talk about a little bit about how you can get into the hobby without wasting too much money, and that is with simulators. What you see running in the background is a simulator called Liftoff. It's available on Steam for I think $19.99, and to be honest, there's a lot of controversy, well, not controversy, but a lot of people are talking about if a simulator can make you a good FPV pilot. And in my opinion, I'd say definitely yes. Because there's a few things, like when you get into the hobby, when you're starting as a new guy in the hobby, you'll probably crash a lot. Even people you see on YouTube doing all these crazy FPV videos, they crash a lot. There's no denying. Everyone crashes. So do I. Yeah, I do it very often. But when you get into a simulator, a crash costs you nothing. Well, in real life, if you crash, you would lose a prop, you could even break your frame, or lose parts of your quadcopter. But this doesn't apply to a sim. On a sim, you just hit the reset button and you're good to go again. Yeah, the thing running in the background is Liftoff. It's probably my favorite sim at the moment. It's not the best sim, I must say that. It's in terms of realism, it's about 90% real, I'd say. It used to be much worse. It used to be much better on a different update from about, I don't know, 2 months ago. But yeah, you can adjust a lot of the parameters on your quad. That's a cool thing about Liftoff. That's why I like it so much. And you could even rebuild your favorite quad, like the one I'm flying here in the video. Is basically a clone I built with the available parts of the Eachine Wizard 220S. It's a very popular quad amongst beginners. Yeah, and you can just change your all your settings you would normally change in Betaflight, like your PID settings. You can do it in here as well, so you can try out new things or get your PIDs into the sim and fly with them just to practice to get better. Yeah, but you absolutely need a good radio to do this. I'm running this sim with the Turnigy Evolution, but I've also run it with the FlySky i6A, I think, the first one that came out. Yeah, that's basically the stuff I'm using. The Turnigy Evolution is much easier because you just plug in your USB cable, plug it into your PC, and then you're good to go. You just need to calibrate it once, and then you can go flying. The point I don't like about Liftoff, and that goes for every sim, that they're not perfect in, they don't do everything perfect. For example, Liftoff is pretty good for practicing acrobatics and getting a general feeling for being high up in the air and performing high-speed maneuvers. Where it's not so good is at racing. I think they don't have the right size for the race gates. If you want to practice racing, I'd definitely say go with a different sim, like Velocidrone is a pretty good one. It's, well, probably if you had more things you could change, like parts on your quad and stuff like that, that would be my favorite sim, definitely. But so far I don't know how to change, or I didn't try out changing too many of the settings because it never felt right when I changed something, so I left it just as stock settings, which felt pretty good, even for racing. And if you want a sim that focuses purely on racing, I'd say go with Rotor Rush. Rotor Rush is used to be called FPV Event. It's a bit more expensive. I think you pay about $50 per year. It uses annual membership. Yeah, but just get any sim you like. Just try out a few. Most of them have demo versions available. At least that's true for Velocidrone. Just get it, try to fly your quad in a sim and see if you like it. And if you've never flown a quad, definitely invest the money to get a sim. I mean, we're talking about a sim that costs about between $20 and $50 or euros, compared to a quad which starts at least 200 euros or dollars. That's a huge price difference, and you don't have to buy replacement props or replacement parts. Your frame can't break. Just do whatever you want in the sim. And what I think it really helped me with was when I started first flying FPV, I always felt nervous while in the air. Like, it was even so bad that my right leg was shaking all the time. And the sim really helped me to get used to flying at high altitude, because I'm a little bit afraid of heights as well. So that really helped me to get like rid of this nervous feeling that was always in the back of my head when I was flying my real quad, like thinking, oh my god, you're so up so high, or you could crash and it would be so expensive. It's better to have your first 100 crashes in a sim than in real life, or like where you don't really know what you're doing with the quad. And that's another point that the sim really teaches you. It teaches you what you have to do in certain situations, because you can like force that situation. For example, flying at high speed towards a wall and trying to catch your quad, like, I don't know, evading that obstacle. And that can really help you, like if you get into a sketchy situation in real life, you just don't panic, you just do what you learned in the sim. I don't know if that really applies to all of us, but yeah, I think it really helps you to judge certain situations which can be tricky. And we all had this OMG moments while flying our quads, like when we nailed that one trick that was almost impossible to do, like in a close spot, doing a flip or a roll and catching the quad afterwards. Flying an FPV quad for me is like a great out of body experience. Like, you almost feel like a bird flying through the air, but you also have a very limited field of view. Like, even with a wide angle lens, you never have that peripheral view that you have in real life with your eyes, and most of the time you also have pretty bad camera quality on most quads, unless you invest into a very high quality camera. And the simulator doesn't give you that, because you're sitting in front of a screen, like I'm sitting in front of a 34-inch screen. That's not comparable to flying with a FPV goggles. So if you have like a Fat Shark goggle or something like that, which has a video in plug, like you can plug in your HDMI cable or your composite video cable, I definitely recommend you to do that in the sim, because then you have the stuff that's happening on the screen also on your goggles, and it giving you a more like a closer to reality feeling while flying your quad in the sim. So yeah, to conclude this video, I would say, if you're new to FPV or if you're an unexperienced pilot, definitely get a sim. Whatever you want to do in real life, whatever trick you have in mind, try it out in the sim first. It will give you an impression of how it feels from the first person view, and what you have to do with your sticks to nail that trick. Definitely an advice for me: get a sim, get good with it, crash in the sim, not in real life. Well, thank you for watching this video. I'll leave you with the rest of the footage here from my little session in liftoff, and I hope to see you at the next video. Fly safe, guys.